The Cellular Operators Association of India says TRAI's satellite spectrum plan rests on incorrect assumptions and unjustifiably low charges, posing a threat to the nation's digital infrastructure. Ujwal Kumar from Cuts International joins us to break this down. So, Ujwal, why does COAI believe the recommendations threaten digital infrastructure?
I think COI is overreacting a bit. Of course, they are worried. They have been, under stress recently, and the 5G rollout is not giving them much more yield as envisaged. But I think at present, on the Trai recommendations, uh, promoting Satcom satellite telephony in India, I think is overreacting on it. Particularly when then we realize that the India is keen to kind of introduce and promote Satcom telephone in India. It is in very nascent stage, and as India has a good kind of record and deep rooted uh, history about space technologies, and we want to be more of a technology provider to the world rather than mere technology consumers, particularly going forward in the 6G. So that way, introduction of SATCOM is very important in India, and these recommendations largely promote them. Uh, and these recommendations are very time bound. It's 5 years, and after that it will be reviewed. So within this period, I don't think telcos in India need to worry that much as they are showing.
You mentioned this may be an overreaction, but can you also go through the potential financial implications for telecom service providers?
There may be some. I mean, I'm not saying that, and particularly the high-end consumers may likely to shift towards Satcom services. Uh, Viewing the tariff structure that is being offered internationally and is kind of expected in India, it doesn't seem that the normal consumers in India will shift much. But yes, high-end consumers might shift. So some financial customers going away. But we must also understand that telecom sector in India is highly consolidated. There is largely a duopoly in India with two players and a very struggling third player called Vodafone Idea. And a fourth public sector is still technologically retarded. So there is a need for competition. So we welcome that there is a need of competition in India, and uh, in long run it will be good for everybody.
So, looking at it at a broader perspective, Ujwal, how might this dispute affect India's broader connectivity goals?
I don't take this as a dispute. While I understand the dissatisfaction of telcos with respect to Tri's recommendation promoting Satcom, which is in nascent state. But I do agree that what they say, same rule, same service, same rule. And going forward, this should be the kind of tagline for the regulation of telecom or Satcom, because in 6G, the vision is ubiquitous 6G. That means terrestrial and non-terrestrial network will fuse together. That means the regulatory dichotomy between telecom and satcom will pose complexity when we look at 6G. So there should be integrated regulatory approach. Same service, same rule need to be adopted in future, and the present dichotomy should be temporary. So I don't think this dispute is long drawn. Some concerns are there, but in future, I agree with telco same service, same rule. But coming to the connectivity advantages, yes, India has some rural-urban digital divide, which will be useful by introduction of Satcom services, and this will be particularly useful in disaster management in uh, fragile Himalayan regions and long ocean coasts that India enjoys. So this will be very positive for connectivity.
Thank you for joining us today and for sharing your insights, Ujwal.
Thank you.
Once again, that was Ujwal Kumar, Associate Director and Deputy Head at CUD Center for Competition, Investment, and Economic Regulation. For more news, visit asiantelecom.com.